What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some Mortronic madness for you guys to check out. I think it's been about 2 years since I uploaded a Mortronic duel similar to this, where you see Mortronics just doing some ridiculously spicy things in the first turn, but that was under Master Rule 4, and I was using Power Tool Dragon over and over again, and while Mortronics can still, like, super spam the field, it was a lot easier when you didn't have to deal with Link monsters, and I was a little concerned because, obviously, Mortronics don't have a Link monster, and getting, all the Power Tool Dragons on the field at the same time, not nearly as easy as you can do now, but because Mortronics are an archetype where you don't have any hard once per turns and you can run things like Iron Call, which is a monster reborn for machines, no hard once per turn on that, and then other future support like Righty and Lefty Driver, those are instant needle fibers, and really needle fiber helping all of these hyper synchro decks like Tech Genesis be able to get to where they need to go. This is a deck that still can just do some utterly crazy things. Now obviously this requires Crystron Needle Fiber, which we don't have in the TCG, and Summon Sorcerers is just banned in the OCG, so they're never going to be able to do this, but the plays are absolutely ridiculous, and the infield is just like your opponent can't do anything, and I guarantee you there's going to be a monster. By the way, just keep track of this Saryuja Skull-Dreads. That's Saryuja Skull-Dread number 1. There's going to be a monster summon, a big stun boss monster that I probably never thought that I would see in Mortronics, let alone like a deck that is pretty much machine focused. Now, because Mortronics have access to cards like Machine Duplication, because there are no hard once per turns, because you have Iron Call, a non-hard once per turn monster reborn, Saryuja number 2, by the way, in case you're keeping count, there are just so many ways of getting this deck online. You see the Machine Duplication, and a lot of the Mortronics, like, they do have the ability to summon other Mortronics. Now, it is based on kind of like excavating, so there's a little bit of luck there, but it doesn't matter. Once you start popping off, you're going to get to where you need to go. And also the fact that their Earth attribute helps as well. Here's TG Hyper Librarian, probably going to see a Formula Synchron following this up, so that'll basically refill the hand. That'll get you 3 draws. That'll get you 2 draws. For some reason, I'm thinking that he had multiple copies. There's Iron Call, that monster reborn. Stardust Charge Warrior, this will get him another 2 draws, and Soul Charge not going to be necessary in this duel. Now the Earth attribute part of the archetype is actually going to start kicking in. Oh wait, okay, I think it's going to be the next play. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon going to be dropped. See, so many good stun monsters. I think that could have been a Borreload Savage Dragon as well. Saryuja Skull-Dread number 3, baby, let's go. And he's using the draw effect every single turn. Like, you don't usually think of Saryuja Skull-Dread and Morphtonics, but because you can get so many monsters on board, it's ridiculous. But there's Naturia Beast, because this archetype is Earth. He's actually going to take that and turn it into a Barkion just to make sure that the evenly matched cheese or the impermanence cheese can't be in factor. And this is something I never would have imagined that I'd see in a Morptronic deck. So he's using this card called Deep Space Cruiser 9, and this is a high level monster. It's actually level 9. You can summon it relatively easily because the entire archetype is machine, and when you have 2 level 9s on field, he's going to be able to summon True King of All Calamities. Now he activates Monster Reborn for Naturia Beast, and what the flip are you going to do against this field where you have Crystal Wing shutting down monster effects, you got Barkion shutting down the trap, so no impermanence, no evenly matched cheese, and then you have on top of that Naturia Beast shutting down all spells. You would really kind of need something like maybe a Ghost Ogre plus one of those disruption cards, or you need like a Kaiju plus an evenly matched. Like, that would probably be able to do it, but generally speaking, I think that this is going to be so difficult. And then you have True King of All Calamities that can just shut down like all types of monster effects, so obviously this is going to be crazy to try to deal with, honestly. And I said honestly twice, I don't like that. But this board it's ridiculous. This is obviously something very powerful, and this is like what Morptronics can do pretty much on the regular if they get a card like Crystron Needle Fiber. It just supplements that support that the deck needs. It has so many different tuners, and really I think what makes Mortronics still a deck that can pop off this hard is the fact that they're really not limited to any type of hard once per turns, whether it be their kind of support cards, the machine-based ones like Iron Call, Machine Duplication, or whether it be the other cards. The fact that like the monster effects, like there are really no hard once per turns in the archetype, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now has so many combo extenders with Monster Reborn and Soul Charge and World Legacy Succession, so many different Monster Reborns that you can pretty much get to where you need to go, unless your opponent draws you. Like, yeah, if you draw this deck, it would probably put a damper on everything they wanted to do, but outside of that, no one really runs Draw and Lopper right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! So you'd be able to pop off even through something like an Ash Blossom or a Ghost Ogre. And at this point, your opponent's probably not going to have those hand traps. They would have already attempted to use them at previous points in the turn. But let's go ahead and pause for a second and see what the deck looks like on paper. Alright, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. As you expected, tons of little Morphtronics in the deck, and then you have your other supplemental cards like Righty and Lefty Driver. You have cards like your Jet Synchron and your Mecha Fan of Beast Lion. These are cards that are mainly just used in conjunction with like Summon Sorceress and Needle Fiber, etc., etc. One thing that I forgot is the fact that Morphtronics have their own Monster Reborn built into the archetype in Junk Box, which is actually kind of crazy because when you combine that to Iron, or when you combine that with Iron Call, which is basically the same exact thing, it just negates the monster effect, and then the other big Monster Reborns like Soul Charge, Monster Reborn, and Succession, it's like, dude, there are so many ridiculous extenders. How are you not gonna pop off in this deck? Obviously, no defense, although, I mean, you know, most decks like this, if you do want to run some defensive cards, I guess you could probably just throw 3 copies of your standard and permanents. I wouldn't even consider running like hand traps. I think a permanence pretty much needs to be the only thing you run because it might be able to break like an extra link board or force out like the Trigate Wizard or something like that. But generally speaking, you just kind of want to go first, pop off, cycle through your entire deck with the Saryuja Skull Dreads. You gotta run 3 because as you saw in the duel, every single copy of Saryuja Skull Dread was used, and a whole lot of synchros. Actually, this is bugging me. We're going to put Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon right down there. There we go. I don't like having like one random synchro all the way on this side. Keep all the mechanics together. In fact, really, when you look at the extra deck, he ran through basically every single card in that duel. So, if you will somehow get your turn 1 board broken, it's pretty much a wrap. You're not going to have any type of recovery unless you find a way to get a Pot of Avarice legal into TCG. Just not going to happen. But good to see Morphtronics still have that potency that they've been known for.